Appreciate that. Glad you guys came out. I'm from Oklahoma City, so when I ask you like where you're from and all that, and I'm like, you tell me, well, I'm from here, there, I'm like, I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm like, at Oklahoma City, you know, with you guys, all these little tri-states, it's like, well, I'm from Virginia, I'm from Maryland. I'm like, you know, okay, where's that? And then Kim was like, I came an hour from here. I was like, a what? I said, did you take a break?
I did.
She did. She took a break. So from Oklahoma City, I'm a physical therapist by profession. So you kind of like, you know, I have, you know, small knowledge about real estate. You guys are professionals. But when you talk about people, I've been doing physical therapy. I've been a physical therapist for over 25 years. So I've seen a few people. And in situations where at their lowest points, you know, they're coming to me for help, basically. But I need to find out what it is about them that needs to get them back to doing what they need to do. And so when I first got out of physical therapy school, and like most professional schools, you know, they don't teach you about people skills. In physical therapy school, medical school, nursing school, they don't teach you about that. And so when I got out, I was like, I said, you know, need to read some books. Someone put some books in my hands to kind of help me out as far as with some people skills, because I was terrified talking to new patients when I first got out. When I'm doing evaluations and stuff like that with them, I said, I need to come up with some way to kind of look at finding out more about patients that, you know, that would help me set my goals. But the problem was, I need to find out what they want, not what I want. In physical therapy, say some of the goals would be, I want them to walk 50 feet for household ambulation, 150 feet for that, for further out with whatever what's wrong with them. But do you think they care about 150 feet? No. They want to walk the dog down the aisle, they want to walk the kids, they want to get out, do activities and stuff like that. So those things I needed to find out about. And that's where I was when I came up with something like this, because usually I'm talking to students, physical therapy students, PTA students, and nursing students that I've gone to their schools to talk about patient rapport. And so I'm excited about this because this is kind of my first time talking to someone outside my industry. But it's all about people. If you think you're not in the people business, you got something wrong, because that's what it's all about. And finding out what they want, what they need is crucial. Because I was like, I don't know if in Oklahoma City, there's a signs that I see a lot, for sale by owner. And it seems like I'm seeing it more so than I ever have before. Am I right? Does that happen here? For sale by owner?
Sure it does.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people think that they cut the realtor out and not have to pay a commission.
Yeah.
And the house ends up sitting on the market because it's not marketed properly.
Exactly. But the other thing too is that, why are they not seeing the value of what you guys do? In Oklahoma City, my thought would be, you know how we all, it was this society of DIYers. You think you YouTube it, Google it, or something to figure it out. Man, there's things that you guys have learned, real estate laws, three states that y'all have had to learn this stuff, if you're licensed in all 3 states. But the thing is, there's things that you know that they don't know, but the thing is to validate your profession. And I'm always doing that. When I'm working with patients, I let them know, you know, because I'm always getting, you know, like chiropractors, DOs and stuff like that, or, you know, saying something about whether they can, physical therapy to do this, do that. Well, yeah, we can. And I let my patients know when I'm seeing them why I'm doing what I'm doing. But like to say, I'm seeing a lot of that for sale by owner, but there need to be understanding what you guys know as professionals. I think it's unremarkable to how that happens. I was like, you know, but what are they doing in Oklahoma City or here, why that would be? You know, why is that happening other than what you were saying? Is there another reason why you see a lot of for sale by owners?
Communication.
Well, they minimize the role of a realtor. They think all you do is hang a sign and it sells itself. They don't realize all of the back work you do to sell a house.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. That plus again, it's the thing about paying commission. They're trying to keep money in their pocket because, like you said, they oversimplify and figure, oh, I can Google something on the internet or I can watch a YouTube video and it's going to tell me how to sell my house. And what you end up finding is the higher income people are, or the higher company or in an organization, say they're a CEO or CFO, they got it all figured out. They figure I can read a book or read something overnight, and I'm gonna tell you how to do your job.
There's a lot of nuances to what you guys do that they don't know. You're going showing a house, different things that happen in different neighborhoods, you know, little things that they don't understand or don't know. That's the same thing about physical therapy. You know, it's things that my patients don't know. They, you know, there's a lot of videos and everything else out that they can say, well, I can figure out how to do this exercise. Well, do you know why you're doing it? Because I can sit here and watch someone walk and figure out that muscle's too tight, that muscle needs to be strengthened, just by watching somebody walk. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I just did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's, you know what they call occupational hazard?
They said you got bad knees. don't you?
I mean, it's what I do. But the thing is, you know, just being observant of things, and that's another point too, is, you know, when I talk about people skills, I'm looking to be an observer. As soon as my patient comes in the clinic, I'm observing. So my question to you guys is, when do you all first come in contact with your client? Is it first time showing? Do you meet up with them? What kind of usual situations?
Well, it depends where the lead comes from. If it's a referral, or maybe somebody, like I coach football, so my first contact is them seeing me on the football field, me interacting with their kid.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's on social media,
Mhm.
it's whatever they see on my reels is our first interaction. So it varies for me personally.
Yeah. And so when I first met Tessa, I was here for a function over at the Harbor, and we were sitting talking, and we just came in conversation, just good conversation, which many of us don't come into. And I had just started reading the book, and I told her I was reading a book by called Reclaiming Conversation by Sherry Turkle. And she talked about how many folks, with my age, a little younger, some of them as well, are absolutely terrified of face-to-face conversation. I did not realize that. It was new to me, because I grew up talking to people, kind of like when y'all was talking to me, just conversating, because I enjoy learning things about people, stuff like that. But I said, how in the world are you in the people business and you don't like interacting with people? There's no way. So my thing when I came up with this talk was to talk to students and what have you about breaking the ice, basically. With whoever you talk to. I didn't know Tessa we were just sitting there, but I did the same thing to her. She didn't know it at that time, you know. You know. Yeah. I said, she didn't know it, you know. But I mean, how many people here know that her dad was in the military?
Know what?
Know that your dad was in the military?
She tells everybody.
Huh? Yeah. She tells everybody.
She has
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kids, 2 boys, 1 girl.
3 boys, 1 girl.
3 boys, 1
Yeah.
girl. One's attorney. Anybody know that?
Yeah.
She brags on that too.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking me to say a word.
And she seemed to be like somewhat of a thrill seeker too, but I was like, a thrill seeker. She was like, Marcland, you know, it was the Ferris wheel that was over there.
Yeah.
She said, y'all get on the Ferris wheel. I said, yeah, no. I'm not doing it. But I came up with that talk just to kind of help with people breaking the ice with whoever they're talking to. You know, with patients and that type of thing, even with you guys, because you never know where you may meet a cold contact. Even a warmer, but a cold contact is even better because you're finding out what they may need. And and here's the thing too, that said, where are you from? How many times have you asked people, where are you from?
All the time.
But did you think you could use it as an approach?
Sure. No, most of the leads that I meet, I get them to talk about themselves, so they're begging me what I do.
Yeah.
Because of my stature, the first thing is I know you played something.
Yeah.
And instead of talking about me, I turn it around on them.
Exactly.
Get them talking about themselves, because people love talking about themselves once you get them going.
Exactly. And that's the key thing is just letting folks know that because folks they wanted someone to listen to. Why do you think you have Facebook, Instagram, social media stuff? Because people listen to you. But the thing is, these folks, you're trying to gather fact-finding information to say, what kind of home do these people want? Because you can find out some things by just learning about some people, what kind of house they want to have. So when I did that, I said, where are you from? I tested that and I asked anybody else, where are you from? But the thing is, when they tell me that, I just kind of like, they say, hey, I'm from here. You know how they say, I'm originally from wherever, Rhode Island. See, that's what I tell you about it. When Lance said he was from Rhode Island, I was like, really? I just had to pause. I never met a brother from
There's only two.
He said there's only two. I was like, really? So I had to like really just stop, But see, that's what I'm saying. I could have kept going and talking about Lance about Rhode Island because I had 1,000 more questions about where he was from, So do you have family still there?
Not any longer.
Not any longer? Okay. So they are here.
Yeah, my parents moved down to Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Be close to us, me and my sister.
Yeah. So if you're asking one of your clients that where they're from, like if you just had cold contact, even at the first house showing, where you're from, what you can gather from that, if they have family somewhere else, anywhere, you imagine, hey, they may be having family come to see them at the house that they're trying to purchase here. Is it a big family? Do they have kids? This, that, and the other. So you're trying to say, hey, I can't show them a 2-bedroom house if they want to, if they got a big family coming here to see them and visiting, And the other thing, as a physical therapist, I've seen the changes in family dynamics. You realize that folks my age are taking care of parents?
Yep. I saw a lot of multi-generational homes.
Exactly.
New and existing.
Yeah.
Where the parents have either an apartment in the basement or they have wings. Because Toll Brothers, as a fine example, one of my clients there has 2 wings. One for the father's family and one for the wife's family.
Yeah. But if you don't know that, guess what? These are the dynamics that you guys got to find in fact finding. It's like, what do these people need for this home? And if you're not finding out about that, it's little things. We're talking about here, as a physical therapist, I'm all about having accessibility to houses. If they have someone, a child, a parent, or someone with disabilities, guess what? You need to have an accessible home. Because the thing, when I think about you guys, again, I don't know about real estate, but I'm sitting there thinking in my mind, if you have some fact-finding information about them, wouldn't it be better for you to be able to narrow down 5 houses versus 15 to 20? I'm just thinking. If you know what they're needing and check off the boxes, So if you talk about the family, just finding out those dynamic things that they're trying to find, that they need for that home. And then the R of it, and you're looking at acronyms. That's an acronym for me. Family is the first one. And when I was in gross anatomy, we had to learn about cranial nerves. It's 12 of them. So we used the acronym for them. So that's one of the ones there that I used for that, and I came with Where Are You From? So family was the first, because to kind of keep me straight as I was interviewing my patients. While I'm doing muscle testing, watching them walk, I'm asking, where are you from? And then the other thing, when it's the R, is recreation. But here's how I ask that. And like it says, people love to talk about themselves. But what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun? Kim, what do you do for fun?
She can't tell it.
Come on,
Tell us something.
I mean, is it bingo? Is it the casino? Casinos?
Love the casino.
See, that's what I'm saying. I said. But if you have a client that says they love the casinos, are you looking at, they want to be nearby houses where the casinos are?
No, because they get you in trouble.
Hey, it's to each their own, But what do you do for fun?
Well, for me, it's travel. But I was going to say, and I was thinking that, that's one of the instinctive things about a lot of people, and surprisingly, I get that a lot when you ask somebody what do they like to do for fun. They have things that entertain them, but they really don't really know what they like to do for fun. They kind of just do it, or when it comes about, they just kind of entertain.
Yeah.
Sometimes trying to find that thing in them sometimes is a challenge. I
Yeah, it can be. But I mean, until they ask the question, but it allows them to think. You can say, hey, but you're just gathering information.
Yeah.
Because some people say, I like to fish, I like to golf, you know, spend time with kids, motorcycle riding. But here's what I thought with you guys is this, is that when people say those things to you, what kind of house would they fit in? Because in the back of my mind, that's what I'm thinking you should be thinking.
Yeah. Lifestyle.
What the lifestyle?
And that's what I typically ask people, what type of lifestyle do you want to have? Do you like cycling? You got the WND trail out here. Do you like walking?
Yeah.
Do you like jogging?
Yeah.
You know, those things. I meet a lot of people in the gym because everybody knows me in my gym as being a realtor.
Yeah.
So, you know, I make a connection with them for working out.
Yeah, yeah. And it's that connection. Because you get, you know, that information from them, they're just like, hey, I'm ready to, you know what I need to do to get through this house that's going to provide that. What if someone says, hey, a wife says, you know, I do a lot of crafting, quilting. Well, I have a house that has in Oklahoma we call them she shacks in the back. Or just outhouse, you know, where they can do crafts, they can do different things. But some type of house that they can use, you know, for whatever hobbies that they have. But you know, why not have that one of those things? You say, hey, you know, I have a house that has that type of deal for you. Guy says I like you know, doing stuff in the garage, you know, auto mechanic work. In Oklahoma, we have a lot of houses that have outbuildings. If you know in your mind, because location, most clients I imagine they know location, know because of the schools, that narrows some things down. But specific things about their houses, that's where you got to, you know, we need to do some digging. But looking at those things, what they may do for fun, will kind of help you narrow down to some houses that they may be interested in. You know, so it just really helps out. So it's, but to me, when I'm talking to patients, that's one of the most fun things about finding out is what do they like to do. Because I'm trying to get them back to doing that.
Yeah.
Golfing, you know, playing basketball with the kids, you know, going to the games, what happened, going to the casino.
For me, it's the top 10 because I typically ask people what are the top 10 things that are important for you for your next house.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you need a space for you to be able to have an office at home because you work remotely.
Mm-hmm.
If you like working out at home, I have a pool table in my house. I have a man cave down there with a pool table and a 75-inch flat screen TV with a sectional around it with a sound system.
Yeah.
My previous 3 houses had pools because we were pool people. I had an outdoor kitchen because I like barbecuing and cooking outside.
Yeah. And that's one of the new hobbies, barbecue.
Yeah.
So when you showing people houses, you in a couple of houses, you know, husband and wife like several different things.
Exactly.
Several different things. You walk in the house, but here's the thing too about, you know, walking in with a couple, hopefully, is to observe. That's my job as a physical therapist, observation. Do y'all ever notice what if y'all pay attention to couples, where they gravitate to? Where do they gravitate to when you walk in with a couple?
Split.
They split. Where does the wife go?
Kitchen.
Where's the husband go?
Living room.
Basement.
Or outside.
Backyard.
So here's the thing too about that. I always like to say about in that book that I was talking about is, so when y'all in the house, I'm gonna ask, I want y'all to be honest with me. When y'all in the house showing the house, y'all, oh, I got a text, I got an email, I got whatever, or do you pay attention to them?
Pay attention.
Good.
Yeah, because they're in front of you.
Yeah.
People that are texting you can wait.
Yeah.
They need your full attention.
Yeah.
You need to be paying attention to see what's important to them.
Because I didn't know if when you go into a home, do you like, you know, I'll let y'all check out the house and I'll go do this. I'm telling you that you losing a lot of observation by not paying attention to the clients as they walking through the house. Because when you look around and watch them, they'll be telling you answers without even having to tell you where they gravitate to.
But I used to stay with the wife.
Or what?
She's a decision maker. She really is.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That's 50-50, it depends
Yeah.
on what
If he's paid, but if she's happy.
She's happy. He's cool.
Yeah.
But but it's good to know the happy medium.
Yes.
Because your wife likes this, husband wants this. You know, where's the happy medium? But as the realtor, you be like, hey, I need to figure that out. But this is why I like this name here. Advisors. You guys are the professionals. You know, but when you know what people are looking for, what they want, you're able to kind of say, okay, I know she wants this, no, you know, but hey, we can get this house that has this, and you know, check most of the boxes. But again, if you don't know what they wanted, then how are you going to do that? You're going to show 15, 20 houses. You could have shown 5 and closed the deal. Maybe.
In this market, it's been so
Yeah.
many crappy houses out there that you
Nothing to choose from.
You gotta put 10 frauds to 5 1.
It's numbers, isn't it?
Yes, numbers really at this point because all the better houses sold 18 months ago.
Mhm.
So most of the people that have their houses on the market now, they're pretty much crap unless it's something where,
Easy.
like in your situation, you get somebody
Easy.
Yeah.
I've seen so many.
I've been
ugly
listing really
houses.
nice ones,
It's
thank
like,
you.
what are you thinking?
That's true. So a lot of people testing the market.
Is that right? It says some different things in the market. So, but occupation, the O is the occupation. And so I'm asking my patients, you know, hey, what do you do for a living? Because, you know, when you go to a car dealership, car salesmen, that's one of the first things they get to. What do you do? I mean, they're trying to qualify you, you know. Of course. But when you say, where are you from? It kind of breaks the ice of, okay, I'm going the back door of this, as I heard you say a while ago, you know. But I'm trying to find out about you. But you get into that kind of later on in the conversation, you done brought the barriers down, because that's what this is about. Because that's what helped me with patients, because they're looking at me, are you going to be able to help me? I only have a window of opportunity to get their trust. People work with people who they like and who they trust. That's where it is. But in conversation and learning about them, that barrier comes down. They want them to share, like you said. Once they share, then they'll give you the information that you need and not make it such a big, hard situation. Okay? But trying to find out what they do for occupation. Because then again, do they work from home? Are they plumbers? You know, electricians, whatever they do. CPAs, if they're working from home, you know, remotely, you need to find a place that has they can do home office.
Well, more so to have a separation between work and living space because you don't want to have an office right next to your bedroom. You want it down in the basement on the main level. So when you go upstairs to your bedroom, you're actually relaxing. Whereas when you go down to your office, you're working now. You're in work mode.
Your work mode, because you got Zoom calls. Folks got Zoom calls and everything else that they have to do now.
And that's one of the things I try to qualify people on. Because even though I may come up with 10 things, I often have them prioritize what's important out of the 10 things.
Mhm.
And depending on location, the condition of the house, like what options or upgrades they've done to the house, they'll forgive certain things because they got something else that was more important to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So again, it's a balancing act of figuring out, okay, what's important for you? Location,
Mm-hmm.
you want quartz countertops, you want a Long Island, you want a wide open concept house, you know, it's a juggling act.
It's a juggling act.
I've seen people say that one thing was important, but then they see this house and fall madly in love with it, and it's like, well, maybe this is more important than
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they don't know what they want, and that's where you have to do the observation.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, you kind of definitely have to observe, you know. And like I said, with the occupation, it just gives you some more arsenal of what they may need, you know. And then just, you know, let you know that, you know, what they're trying to find, what they need, and also location of the house.
Exactly.
You know, and it's going to be far away. You know, those things that you're gathering, because when you regurgitate back to them, you know, location and stuff, hey, this is close to the Pentagon, this is close to the State Department, this is, you know, close to what have you, and it helps.
Right. I like the thing you talked about what was important to a particular spouse. I just closed the house Tuesday with the husband has a motorcycle and they have 2 cars. He wanted a garage where he could keep his bike. The wife does woodworking. She
Yeah.
wanted a garage big enough or else a outbuilding where she
Yeah.
could do her woodworking.
Yeah.
They also wanted to be on acreage because they have this pit bull terrier.
Yeah.
They wanted the dog back there and
Yeah.
they wanted to have a fence because they needed a place for the dog to walk.
And dogs are part of the family.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when I talk to patients, like, hey, whatever the dog's name is, that he's part of the family. You know, they need, you know, yard big enough, you know, so where their dog can, you know, roam around whatever they need to do, you know. So it makes a big difference, you know. So, and the M about that is miscellaneous. Because a lot of times when I get through talking with folks about different things, I just, you know, go back to some different other subjects, you know, that I've talked about, you know, anything that they, you know, want to ask, you know, me about, you know, it's just more miscellaneous. But I just started out, you know, just where you from, you know, and I've done that, you know, several different places like you're talking about, athletic place, gym, you know, I ride motorcycles too. I have a Harley.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I mean, you know, I meet all kind of people in different places. Now you wouldn't think I have a Harley. You're like, I don't look like no motorcycle, but whoever does, you know.
Most people are white collar professionals. They have pocket. They want to be bad boys on the weekend.
Yeah. No, I don't like. I just want to ride. I just want to ride. So yeah. Any questions? Any questions on that? On the things that, you know, as far as that's concerned, and you know, and the thing is, if it's something that he had done, it's just something to put in your coffers. Because a lot of people are not comfortable, you know, just conversating. You wherever you go, you know, ask people where you're from, you just cold contact them. Because I'm telling you, what will separate you guys from any other organization is the people skills. Because I'm like, if I see any more for sale by owners, because you're trying to validate your profession. And then I just saw the other day this Redfin thing, an app.
It gets better. Zillow is setting up their own brokerage and they own rent.
Yeah.
So they're shooting fish in a barrel. They're gonna get their own leads from Zillow and then they're gonna close them with their brokerage.
Yeah, I said, so something to separate folks like you guys from everyone else. It's people skills. Because, you know, apps are not going to do what people still want the human as part of transactions. You know? And I always believe that.
I say people skills and building a relationship with your clients. So the client that I got through a referral on the day for yesterday, I spoke with him for a while yesterday. The first thing he said was he named 2 other agents, and he said they was all about the money. They did not care about him at all. So I took the time to spend at least 15, 20 minutes on the phone with him, and he texted me late last night. He's like, "Thank you so much." So, but I did say, you know, because he's also going through a lot personally, but he's also trying to find a home. So I said, well, you know, maybe Friday we can meet for lunch, and then we can talk about everything. So he was real happy about that. So building a relationship with them, and like you said, having them trust you, and just knowing that you care, you're not just trying to take their money.
No.
That's what he said. They all about the sale, trying to take my money.
Yeah.
So.
And you know, and the thing is, looking at your demographics, the older clients that you may have, they like calls. They don't like emails. They don't like texts. You see what I'm saying? You gotta understand your demographics. You know, they wanna meet. You know, they wanna exchange air with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so, but even the younger ones, I mean, it's best. Here's the thing too. Technology is great, but there are times when I know people don't like it. Example. You ever been to a doctor's office and the doctor's talking to you, he just kind of like, and he's asking you questions, but he's looking down. You know, I like technology, but there are times that I don't. I want them to listen to me. I want them to, you know, pay attention to what I need, what I'm asking, what I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense that sometimes if we disconnect to connect,